A college education is the biggest scam in America until it isn't. And let me go ahead and explain why that is.
Welcome to the Roughnecks. I'm Rico, your ecom instructor. I'm a software engineer, a military veteran, and a six-figure ecom seller. I've helped over 400 students on Amazon alone, and thousands more make money online. If you need to know anything about making money, you're going to find it out right here.
So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Roughnecks Ecom channel. I'm your host, Roughneck Actual, aka Rico. And on this channel, if you're new, we talk about all things how to make money online, offline, and everywhere in between. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Click that little notification bell so that way you can get updated with the latest content, the latest and greatest. And then get into the free Facebook group below, man, so that way you can get all the wholesome tips that I do not reveal on YouTube. So, for all you regulars, man, you know what time it is. Time to go ahead and get right into it. Let's talk about this. Okay, guys, so the topic today is this expensive piece of paper right here. Mine came from Penn State, all right? So, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you who went to a major university. College is the biggest scam in America. Period. In the discussion. College. Let's go ahead and talk about the negatives right off the bat, okay? Because this everyone needs to hear this. Number one, college is overpriced. Okay. When I went to Drexel for a year before I transferred out to Penn State, my tuition bill for 1 year living off campus was $62,000. Okay, $62,000. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus, for the military and them covering it. But $62,000 is a lot of money. Okay. Number two, you do not need a college education to open a business, become an entrepreneur, or get into some type of trade like becoming an auto mechanic, an HVAC mechanic, plumber, electrician, whatever. Even if you want to be like a summer camp counselor, you don't need a college education. So please, don't let your parents talk you into going to college. Okay. Just do not. All right. Also, the teaching style is antiquated. All right, it is antiquated, it's old, it's out of date. We should not be teaching people this way anymore. Like back in, 200 years ago, college education, the way that the curriculum flowed very well. It was to create well-rounded individuals. But with technology being so readily available, you don't need art history as a freaking elective. You really don't. Like if you're going to get like a STEM degree, who needs art history? I know I didn't. I took it anyway because I had to. But it's pointless. It's worthless, okay? Most of the people that go to college go so out of pressure from friends, family, teachers, whatever. They don't even know if it's right for them, all right? It is not, just trust me, it's not worth it for a lot of people. Most people are gonna go to a very expensive liberal arts college, go get like an English or history or psychology degree or whatever, spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year getting that degree, and then come out and be like, oh my God, I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And believe me, you don't want that because you cannot discharge those in bankruptcy. Like federal student loans, you paying that, or your family's gonna pay it when you die from the crippling debt that you're gonna be under. All right. So now that we got the negatives out of the way, let's talk about some of the reasons why you would go. And for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and break down some statistics. So I wish I had me some glasses right now so I could seem intelligent. I'm sorry I don't have like a little PowerPoint presentation, but just make sure you guys follow along. All right, guys, so we're gonna talk about the average salary of someone with a high school diploma, because I know you guys are all about like, oh, I'm being an entrepreneur, you're gonna start a drop shipping store, you're gonna be like the next drop shipping millionaire, bro. Shopify stores for life. Word. Whatever. All right. So the average salary for someone with a high school diploma, this is in America, by the way, you're looking at $35,000 per year. Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting out of bed for $35,000 a year. Just not going to do it. And the average unemployment rate for someone with just a high school diploma is 5.4%. Okay. So keep that number in mind. All right. So this is the average salary for someone with a 2-year degree, an associate's degree from like a community college. You're looking at $41,496. Not bad. And the average unemployment rate is 3.8%. Okay, unemployment rate is dropping as education goes up. All right, keep that in mind. And the average salary with a bachelor's degree, I'm assuming this is more like a bachelor's of arts, bachelor's of science, preferably bachelor's of science. Looking at $59,124 a year. And the unemployment rate for someone with a bachelor's is roughly 2.8%. So as you can see, unemployment drops as you gain more education. Now, education is not the end all of all that, okay? So we're going to break down a little bit more, okay? A little bit more for you. A little bit more. So this is stat number 2, okay? Now, so according to Georgetown University, which is probably biased, but whatever. I mean, it's a university, so of course things are going to be kind of skewed in their favor. But based on the numbers alone, you can see that they're not fudging, right? So over the course of your lifetime, whether you're a high school grad and do not have a degree versus someone who does have a bachelor's degree, undergrad degree, I should say, bachelor's of arts, bachelor's of science, you're looking at around $1 million more in your lifetime. Okay, and which is true. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be made up in straight salary. This could be made up in benefits, such as like a 401k and other things. But $1 million is a huge deal over the course of your lifetime. Now, a lot of people say, oh, $1 million, what's that? Trust me, $1 million is a very, very big deal. I'm not saying that you have to go to college, people. I'm just saying, I'm going to put these numbers out there as options so that way you kind of know what you should be looking for when going. We're going to get into a discussion about college and if, is it right for you? But after these statistics are broken down. And, by choosing not to go to college, you're pretty much giving up $17,000 a year in salary. That's kind of a big deal, guys. Like, $17,000 is a lot of money. I mean, in my opinion, $17,000 could change somebody's life. So $17,000 a year is a huge, 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 huge deal, okay? That is the difference between, having a nicer car or a nicer home in a nicer neighborhood so your kids can go to a better school or, afford better nutrition, better medical care, all types of things that most people don't think about until they don't have the money and they're like, man, I'm struggling, all right? And that's not cool. But for you cats that are still stuck on stupid and you're like, I'll be the next dropshipping millionaire, bro, because Hayden Bowl said I'm gonna be the next dropshipping millionaire. I love Hayden, by the way. Ari Shearshin said all I need is a winning product. Love my man Ari, by the way. Yeah, so you guys follow him too. Beast of Ecom said I just need a winning product too, and I'm gonna be a millionaire. You see the trend here, people? But let's go ahead. Let's talk about some salaries because as I am college educated, you guys know I'm a software engineer during my daytime career. We're gonna break these numbers down. Okay, let's go ahead. So for you entrepreneurs out there, such as myself, you guys know I have my business. I have my Amazon businesses, I have car shop, coach people, run an automation service for people. Hold on, all right? So as an entrepreneur, the average salary, this is America still, by the way, you're looking at $43,000. $43,000. So you're still probably gonna make less than someone with a college education, with an undergrad at least. Now, I'm not saying that you're not gonna make money, but I'm saying as an entrepreneur, typically you're gonna make less, okay? And your options are not gonna be near as high. So you have to understand that you're gonna have to pay out of pocket for medical care and a lot of other things. And you need to be aware that most entrepreneurs do not strike it big. I am extremely lucky to be in a situation that I'm in because most people do not get to be in this situation. And I try to tell all my students that, I try to tell my clients, I try to tell everyone I come in contact with that information because they see me and my friends doing these crazy things and they're like, oh bro, I'm gonna be there in 6 months. No, you're not. Chances are you're not gonna be there ever, but nobody wants to hear that. So let's go ahead and let's talk about, other people, people that do go to college. And this is where things start getting funky. Where people, go to these ridiculous liberal arts colleges, for like a psychology degree or something like that. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna be the world's best counselor and so on and so forth. And granted, if you want to be a licensed therapist, you do need to have a college education. All right, summer camp counselor, you don't need one, but to be a licensed therapist, like my homegirl Liz out there, Elizabeth, I love you. She's a great autocross instructor, by the way. So if you guys are ever out here in the Philly, Jersey area and you need someone to take you around and show you how to drive, hit me up. I'll put you in contact with Liz. She's a great therapist. I wish she could be mine, but it's conflict of interest. So yeah, I got issues, commitment issues and all that, but whatever. So we're going to talk about a bachelor's degree in psychology. So if you have a Bachelor of Arts in psychology, your average salary is going to be around $48,000, around $49,000, which is not bad. Still more than an entrepreneur, still more than the average entrepreneur salary. But, remember when you go to one of these private institutions, you're probably going to spend anywhere between $60,000 to $100,000 getting your education because let's face it, most people want that, very sexy college experience. They don't necessarily just want to go to Penn State. They want to stay on campus. They want to party. They want to do all this stuff. They're going to take a bajillion years to graduate and they're going to be $100,000 in student loan debt, anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. Okay. According to this, you're not going to be making as much as your student loan debt is going to be. So you're going to be paying it off for a very long time. So you need to make sure that the major that you choose has a good return on investment. All right, good return on investment. Now, for a petroleum engineer, if you decide to go get your BS in petroleum engineering, you can count on yourself making a good chunk of change. My boy Les, when he got his first job as a petroleum engineer, it was $92,000, by the way. Sorry, Les, I just put you on the spot. Sorry, my bad. But as a beginning petroleum engineer, it was $92,000. On average, you're looking at $126,900. So we'll say $127,000. Okay, your education is probably going to cost around 60 grand. We'll say anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 if you go to a private institution, kind of like Drexel. And you get scholarships and things like that. So we'll just say you graduate with $100,000 in student loan debt. My man, you're gonna make on average $127,000. So that return on investment is more than your student loan expense. I'm not saying you have to go to a very expensive university. I would recommend going to a state college like Penn State. If you live in Pennsylvania, Rutgers University. If you live in New Jersey, Delaware. What is it, Del U, and so on. So it's generally cheaper. You can get away with spending anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 a year in most cases to get your education. So that way you get to save some and then come out and make $127,000. Sounds really good, don't it? All right. So let's go ahead and get back to that. Now, for the people who don't want to go to college, let's talk about different professions. Let's talk about like maybe an HVAC technician, right? And we're going to break down these numbers for you. So as an HVAC technician, you can expect to make around $49,000 a year. $49,000 is not bad, okay? That's still more than you make as an entrepreneur. More than you're gonna make with a Shopify drop shipping store, I can tell you that much, all right? And this is not to discourage anyone or sway anybody to go to college, not go to college, whatever. You really need to decide if it's right for you, okay? College for me was right for me. I knew what I wanted to do, okay? I knew that I needed a college education to do so. And I know a lot of people right now are saying you don't need a college education to work at Google, Apple, Microsoft, so on and so forth. And this is true. To get into an entry-level position where you're like a secretary or something, you don't need a college degree for that. But to be a top-tier engineer, you do. All right, and want to know how I know? Because Google recruited me, people. And one of their requirements was a minimum, to be a mid-level developer. Mid-level, by the way, not newcomer. Newcomer was still, you needed a bachelor's of science in some form of engineering or computer science. But as a mid-level, you needed 3 to 5 years of experience, preferably, and you needed a degree. Preferably more schooling as well, more education towards your master's degree, okay? Don't let like all these other YouTubers tell you this, because most of the people telling you these things don't know what in the world they're talking about, okay? They just don't. And it's stupid. They don't know what the they're talking about. Most of the people that are telling you not to go to college have never been, and if they have gone, they haven't finished. And if they did finish, they picked a major that doesn't necessarily make them any money. They might have majored in English or history, something along those lines. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. You take it from someone who lives this life every single day. You guys have seen me on my lives. You guys, know what I do for a living. Believe me, having a 6-figure salary allowed me to jumpstart my entrepreneurial journey. So even when I was an intern, making $50,000, $60,000 a year, that's still more than the average person is making as an entrepreneur. So I was able to leapfrog. I was able to spend more money on advertising. I was able to spend more money doing product research, and I was able to spend more money, getting more products. So I was able to leapfrog ahead of someone who did not have the means to compete with me in that arena. Okay, so an education gave me a jump start, and now that I've been through my career, I've gotten my money and I'm comfortable. I have a 6-figure career that I can fall back on if any time, like Amazon takes a crap, like Jeff Bezos dissolves Amazon, which will never happen. But if it did, guess what? I'm gonna be okay. Whereas someone who is, a drop shipping king, someone like an eBay drop shipping king or whatever. If eBay goes out or Amazon goes out, that's it for them. They don't have anything to really fall back on. They do have skills, but they're not necessarily going to have built a career in industry where they can rely on that income to supplement their lifestyle. So like if everything fell through today, I still have my 6-figure career that I can fall back on. I'm still gonna have my house, my cars, everything else. Like the skyline isn't gonna go anywhere, none of that. So you guys need to take that into consideration. All right, having an education allows you to also network when you're in college. You get to meet people that you normally wouldn't meet, and you get to get to reach out to people that you could not reach out to if it hadn't been for going to college. And in this instance, you guys don't necessarily know too much about my personal life, but one of my mentors, I talked about him in a video, Joe Oakes. I love him from the bottom of my heart. This man I owe everything to. He was essential to me being able to advance in my career. And I'm so grateful for him in every single way, because this man put me in contact with everyone I needed to know as far as networking, getting my internships, getting my first job offers, everything. And without going to college and meeting him, I definitely wouldn't be here where I am today. I would not be talking to you guys about this, okay? And I'm not saying it's gonna happen for you the same way, but what I'm saying is, you never want to close the door on an opportunity that you may want to take. And I know a lot of people are young, and you guys do ask me questions like, should I go to college? Should I drop out of college? And that's really a personal decision. But when you start looking at the longevity of it, it does start panning out depending on what you major in. If you go for something in the STEM category, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, you definitely can count on yourself being rewarded and paid back for the amount of time that you spend at university. So keep that in mind. Now, again, this is not a PSA to go to college or not go to college. It's really just giving you the options to think about, because a lot of entrepreneurs do not make it, contrary to popular belief. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, I know tons of entrepreneurs killing it right now, like my man makes $100,000, $200,000 or whatever, but they are the exception to the rule. I am the exception to the rule. On average, you are not going to do very, very well as an entrepreneur. Okay, it's just not going to happen, because a lot of people do not have the focus, they do not have the discipline, and they do not have the networking capacity in order to build out a funnel in essence to get customers to come in and spend top dollar. Okay, and having a Shopify dropshipping store, chances are you're not going to be the next dropshipping millionaire. You still have expenses and things like that. And when you have a viable career, you have a six-figure career that you've built. And I'm not saying, it can be through a trade or through a university, whatever. Just having an education would be nice to fall back on. So that way you can dump more money into your business. And that way you can beat out the competition and be quicker to market than everyone else. And that is what matters. If you can execute quicker, better than the next person, then guess what? You're gonna win. And in my case, I got very lucky. I was able to jump on the bandwagon much earlier than I would have been if I did not have my career set up. So again, people, it's not a PSA to go to college or not go to college. You already know my stance. I think college is a big scam. I think it's the biggest scam in America right now. Even though I do have a college education, I still think it's a huge racket, and I think it's overpriced, it's antiquated, and we can kind of do without a lot of the things. I think that they should take a lot of the curriculum and redo it. I don't think a petroleum engineering major needs to take like all these ridiculous basic courses like art history and the history of jazz and things like that. If you don't want to take it, you shouldn't have to take it. You should be able to breeze through your major specific courses and go through it. And that's what I did. I went through, and thanks to Joe, I was able to graduate early. I was able to graduate in under 3 years with my BS, and I'm very privileged. I do not recommend that for people though, because I did not enjoy college. Actually, I was very frustrated because I'm taking 20-something odd credits every semester, even during the summer. I really wanted to punch myself in the face. It was very tough. My ex can tell you all about it. My ex-wife can tell you all about the long nights and the headaches and the not wanting to do anything because I was just so miserable the whole time. But yeah. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you found this informative. I'm gonna peace out at this point. I know this video has been very long. Please make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell if you haven't done so by now. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. It's gonna be a doozy. I'm gonna try to do more of these, right? Oh, also, by the way, gonna be doing a Christmas giveaway for you guys. So keep tuned, because I usually give out really cool things, by the way. It might be a MacBook Air, some iPads, who knows? But, click the links below, man. You guys know what to do. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.